Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
There it is.
Go Big Red indeed. No block, no rock. Episode 222s, 222. Coming at you from the NBNR studio in Omaha, Nebraska. Fellas, spring has arrived.
It has sprung.
It has sprung.
And the weather is nice. No more snow. Please, God, no more snow. To mark no more snow and to mark spring, got me a nice little Nebraska Brewing Company beer here.
What the hell do you have on top of that right there?
I got a little contraption on my beer, on my Stories from Nebraska coffee stout. Mike set this up for me. I want to have you just talk about this, Mike, if you could, because you're the one that's gotten the ball rolling on this draft top thing.
Yes. So let me tell you a little bit about our new sponsor. It is Draft Top. This contraption right here is a match made in heaven for what we do. We like to drink beer and we like to talk shit. You can do a lot of both with this thing in your hand.
Yeah.
Draft Top is now an official sponsor of No Block, No Rock, and we will be sending out an affiliate link. If you want to order one and support the pod, you can get yourself one of these. Now, the reason I say it is a match made in heaven, back in the day, and Connor, you can speak to this, but back in the day, Nebraska Brewing Company had these 360 cans. They had the cans that took the whole top right off. Well, turn the page. They don't have those anymore. But guess what? With our new sponsor, Draft Top, you can have a 360 can on any beer, any soda, any beverage that comes in a can. So let me demonstrate really quick.
Yeah, you do that.
You're gonna take your Draft Top and you're going to stick it on your can, slide your tab in, pop it, spin it.
Twist, twist, twist.
Okay.
Okay, watch your computer there.
And voila.
Look at that.
And he pours it
right on the computer.
Immediately. I knew.
That was going to happen.
Jared even warned you.
I'll switch it to you.
Should we, we're still going?
We're fine.
All right,
we'll do it live.
Listen, this is my first time doing it. I'm going to try it.
Oh, I hear it.
Okay.
I hear it.
Keep going, and let go of it when it's done spinning.
Okay. Oh.
Did you feel it? Did you feel the freedom in that beer?
Okay.
Hold on. Well, I'm still twisting. Okay. I am still going.
I feel like.
Okay, just now let go of the black button.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
And you notice I did a really smart thing. I put my computer over there.
Yeah. It's funny,
but I was very, very cautious because I've never used it before. I didn't know how I was going to go.
Yeah.
At Nebraska Brewing, you had a whole machine that did this, very swiftly.
An actual canning line. Yeah.
A canning line that literally had tabs on there.
This is handheld.
Connor, do it for the first time for our listeners.
Yeah. So
this is Draft Top. Draft Top, guys.
I have a Cardinal Pale Ale in there. So I'm going to. Oh, wow. It actually works pretty easy. I expected there to be like some. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, it dropped mine in there. But the good news is I've dealt with this before.
Yeah.
I've
There we go.
Boom.
Hey,
guys.
It
guess
literally
what?
just unseams the whole thing.
It unseams the can. There are no sharp edges. It is.
Let me be the judge of no sharp edges. All right, he's right. Damn it.
Yeah.
Dude, I was really surprised. So we had our official sponsorship. We had our phone call last Monday, and I was really intrigued because they don't just make like the handheld ones that we've got. We've got a bar top one sitting just over there in the corner.
Yeah.
They're wildly cheap.
Yeah, everything is affordable.
They're wildly cheap.
And
it's
for
like
those,
a few bucks.
And for those of you who like love listening to our podcast for some reason, if you want to support us and get something in return, like this is the ultimate thing to do. Is we're gonna put this affiliate link in there. You go out there, buy one of these things. Like I said, you get something in return for supporting the pod. You support the boys, and if you come to a tailgate, we can all drink our beers with the tops off. And that's the only time we're ever going to do this, guys.
Tops off.
We're going to take our tops off every episode, but keep our shirts on.
What I'm concerned about is the fact that I feel like we're just going to drink beers infinitely faster.
Oh, most definitely.
Right. Some people might be like, why do I need to buy this? And so there's a part of it is the nostalgia factor. And the other is just, look, you're trying to drink a lot. This is going to help you. If you're trying to get a nice little pregame in before a painful fall Saturday, you're gonna use this draft top.
Well, not to mention, look at the colors, man. Like this, I've got the American flag
America, baby.
design.
Oh, yeah.
Jared, you want to show yours off real quick? He's got, I mean, he's redder face. He's red from head to toe. We had to give him the red one.
GBR, baby.
And Connor, he's got like this.
I've got like a wood panel.
Yeah, like a wood grain design.
Yeah.
These things are freaking sweet. So make sure you guys go get one. Support the pod. Support Draft Top. And we hope to see you at a local tailgate very soon. But anyways, let's get back to we have a podcast. Spring football just started.
Spring football just started. Now, the question I want to ask you guys is we actually had, as Husker sports fans, good weekend and also disappointing weekend. Do you want to start with the good or the bad?
I would say let's get the bad out of the way.
You want to get the bad out of the way?
Yeah. Let's get that one.
Bad baseball? Get it out the way, huh? Question. First of all, have you guys been watching or listening to this baseball team so far?
Yeah, I have. And I think like my only takeaway is I don't have one because they both simultaneously surprise me and disappoint me. It's very difficult, like trying to figure out going into any game. The talent is there to compete. It's just that, we don't sometimes.
Well, okay. My question is, we're sitting here. We haven't even hit April yet. And people are asking, is it worth tuning into this team? Is the season over? Basically, like, where do you sit with that?
I would tell you almost exactly 1 year ago, we had this exact discussion.
Yeah.
I remember like
every year, honestly, for the last like 3 years.
It's deja vu. Every late March, early April, we're talking about, I was like, oh, is the season over? No, it's not. I mean, last year we had this exact same discussion. We won the Big Ten tournament. The season's not over. We have some significant hurdles right now, with two very significant injuries right near the beginning of the season. Not a great showing against USC yesterday, but did force a rubber match.
They did.
Yes. I just, for the time being, I'm going to say, yes, it's still worth tuning in. It's still worth supporting. There's just so much season. Like
there is okay. They play in the Big Ten Conference. Currently, they are 2-7.
It's not good.
You can't do that.
It's not great.
And look, yes, there have been solid additions to this conference. I mean, you saw when Nebraska goes on the West Coast and they play USC and they lose 2 out of 3. And UCLA, they do not play well at UCLA either. You just can't be 2-7 in the Big Ten because the RPI, like, is the season over? No, it's not. These next 5 games, you've got Kansas State, pretty good team. Hit them last year. Do it again. Just hit them again. Then you got 3 versus Oregon State at home, and they're top 5. And then after that, they got Creighton. I'm going to be greedy here, and I'm going to demand that they go 4-1. I feel like you got to go 4-1 in order to still be competitive. The offense is not good. Like Mason McConaughey, losing him, terrible. But you still have that whole other side of the game that should have been okay. But they're ranked dead last in the Big Ten, in batting average. In any meaningful offensive category, they are 17th out of 17 in most of them. So these next 5, you got to go 4-1. I'm being greedy here.
Is it weird that as a Husker baseball fan, and I know we harp on this every year too, that Oklahoma State is not the most concerning part of that stretch for me?
Oregon State.
Or it's Oregon State, sorry, not Oklahoma State. No, it is Creighton. Because Creighton, for whatever reason, we always have trouble with.
Well, and it's ironic because this year it's flipped to where your midweeks are good.
Yeah, weekends.
Then the weekends suck. Last year it was the opposite. So now, this year, maybe they beat Creighton and they beat Kansas State. We'll see about Oregon State. But, it's very disappointing. Gabe Swanson's going through it. Overbeat could be playing better. Our boy, Ty Stone, he didn't start the beginning of the year. He started a few games, had a few nice games, but has regressed. And so you have these veteran guys on offense, besides Brumbaugh, that have just been striking out a lot, not getting on base. Again, as a team near the bottom of the Big Ten. And it's not over, but you got to quit striking out and you got to go 4-1 in these next 5. Am I still going to watch? Am I still going to listen? Yeah. But damn, it's disappointing because this is supposed to be a very experienced team. And you have the nice comeback win at USC in game 2. And then they face a dude with a terrible ERA and they get nothing going on offense. You are kind of hoping that Saturday comeback was going to be a springboard, but they just came out flat and dead in that rubber match. It sucks. And I'm not calling for freaking Bolt or whatever, Jesus Christ, but God, you got to play better. You got to. What else can you say?
And I'm crazy here. I think last year with the midweek scaries, but playing well on weekends, the RPI was our savior. But with the way that Nebraska is playing right now, it might be the nail. Just the nail in the coffin. It's not there yet.
It's not there yet.
But the nail is sitting on top of the wood.
Sitting on top. It hasn't. We haven't hit.
The hammer has not yet been swung.
We haven't tapped it. I mean, maybe we tapped it a few times. You can still take it out.
I guess, have we tapped it or have these other teams tapped it?
Fair.
But yeah, it's starting to get to a point where it's a little bit scary because last year you could say, we lost some of these midweek games and they were still good midweek opponents. Where now it's we're winning some midweek games and they're not bad opponents. But when you get to the games that really matter, like USC, these are games that we have to win.
Yes.
And then, like you said, we're going into an interesting stretch over the next 5 games.
If you keep playing at this pace, you're not making the Big Ten tournament.
Can I be?
Come on.
For the first time in a while, can I be the pessimist?
Yeah.
Over the next 5, I think I see this Nebraska baseball team going 2-3. Realistically, sure. I see 2-3. Do I want 4-1? And comments might say we want 5-0. Shut up. Everyone does.
No, nobody. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and bet my bottom dollar that everybody's just as pessimistic as we are right now.
Yeah, 4-1. I think is about the highest hopes you could have, as long as that one loss doesn't come to Creighton.
It'd be cool if they swept Oregon State, but
I don't see that.
It just sucks because what's the goal every year? It's host a regional, and it's again they're not going to do it. And look, they're not going to do it this year. They're just not.
No, absolutely.
They're 10-13. You can still turn it around. I feel like you have to do what you did last year in order to even make the tournament beyond the Big Ten. Right, to make a regional, even you got to win the tournament like you did last year, and it just sucks because you rode the hot bat of Gabe Swanson and Josh Caron, it feels like what's that term I'm looking for? I mean, it was lucky. Like you rode that, and it was not sustainable. Obviously, like you had people coming into this year going, Gabe Swanson, if he could just do what he did in the Big Ten tournament, like that is not realistic. People,
that was lightning in a bottle.
Yes, and that's what I'm afraid of is that they rode that, and it gave people the high expectations coming into this year because it feels like every time there are expectations for this team, they always don't live up to them. And not only don't live up to them, but end with an under 500 record. It's when they come into a season with low expectations where they somehow do better. And I don't know if that's a pressure thing, if it's between the ears. We have this discussion a lot about these men's teams like that.
I think you can also, sorry, Mike. I think you can also talk about, Timmerman and McConaughey. Like that, those are two big instances right at the beginning of a season that can change the course.
Yeah.
And without those two things happening, I don't think anybody can tell you what this team might look like right now. I could tell you in Big Ten play, would you say we're 1-7?
2-7.
2-7.
Yeah.
I can tell you with those two guys still playing, I don't think it would be 2-7. But again, I'm not going to say it's 5-2 or whatever the hell it would be, or 7-2.
Right.
But I think that number would be a little bit different.
It's just the only thing about that is the offense sucks.
Yeah.
It's
not as good as it was.
Has nothing to do with McConaughey and Timmerman. The offense, you're gonna have to go out there and score 8 runs. Like you just have to do that. I'm sorry, but you have a lot of experienced guys, and I'm sorry, you cannot be shut out versus USC yesterday. You can't have that happen through, I think it was like 7 innings. You cannot get shut out against a pitcher who's just not good. Like you have to show up. Mike?
Hey, I'm over here, guys. Sorry. Nice that you guys filled the room for a while. Yeah, this team's not good. They're not good. I'm just telling you that now. They're not good. They don't have the pitching. The USC game, you want to talk about game 3, nail in the coffin, defense wasn't even there. And like at least that was something you could fall back on was, okay, they're going to play good defense. Pitching is and bats sometimes are sleepy. But when all 3 phases aren't working, like that's an issue. It also doesn't help when you have to go now, the new Big Ten, you have to go out and you have to go play these teams that are in California that do have the advantage of playing all year round.
Sure.
And so instead of, playing just those teams that were giving you troubles last year, midweek scary type stuff, you're going to play those Southern and West Coast teams. Now you're playing teams in your conference and losing to them. And it's an issue. I don't think this team has it.
You don't think they have it?
I don't think they have it.
Fuck. And this was supposed to be the team that had it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Maybe that's unfair because, again, fool's gold. That's the term I was looking for. Big Ten tournament run that they had, I'm afraid, was fool's gold. What the fuck, Mike?
You're texting over there?
It shouldn't go through there, but it did. Sorry.
I'm just...
Is it odd that I feel like there is a parallel here between Nebraska ball and Nebraska ball? That last year we saw a March Madness bid. Everyone got very excited. I mean, we were there. It was fantastic. The vibes.
Can they build?
Yeah. And then, we come off of what we felt like were really, really great building seasons for both programs. And I mean, obviously we already saw how Nebraska ball season went. We still have the crown. That's still coming. But we come back to this baseball season, and it looks like an almost parallel to what Nebraska ball did, where we regressed.
Mm-hmm.
The talent isn't quite to the level, and I there was that lightning in a bottle or fool's gold near the end of that season for baseball, but it just feels like we've regressed yet again.
Changing the lineup a lot, trying to find the right combination. I get it. You're trying to find the guys that will perform for you. And I think we've hit a point where Bolt needs to just put his foot down and say, this is the lineup. Here we go. Like, enough with changing everything and putting this guy in the 2-hole and who's leading off, blah, blah, blah. Like, you just got to stick with something. And you got to play Riley Silva more. Like, we always talk about bolt ball. And now the only time that fans ever say that is when they go out and lose and they reply bolt ball in a shitty way, right? Bolt ball. There you go. It's like, put the ball in play, quit striking out. That's going to be the recipe, So find a lineup and stick with it. Let's fucking go.
God. All right. Well, you said let's start with the negative. We hit the negative on the head. Let's go to positive. Let's talk about the program, the only men's program that's actually doing something, leading the way. And let's tip our cap to Nebraska wrestling. We've got 2 national champions, finished second in the country. It's the best finish Nebraska's ever had.
Yep.
And you know what? Mark Manning, he's the best coach at the university
on
right
campus.
Well, John Cook's gone. He's the best men's coach right now at the university.
Hard to argue that.
So you can't argue it.
We did talk before the show about whether he was NCAA Coach of the Year, Tournament Coach of the Year. He's Tournament Coach of the Year. Mark Manning, shout out. But then again, Mike, you alluded to it. Shout out to Antrell Taylor, Ridge Levitt.
Hey, that's the Millard South alum, Antrell Taylor, right there, baby.
2 NCAA champions. If you guys remember, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we got a question in the chat to talk about wrestling.
There you go.
And we were talking about Big Ten championships. And I believe I said something along the lines of Big Ten, I don't care about. I want national champions.
You did. You did say that almost word for word.
And we got 2 of them.
Fair.
That's pretty awesome. We could have had 3, but we will gladly take 2.
Yeah. This team, they fought hard all season. And they proved that they are one of the best programs out there right now. And I see Mark Manning continuing to do this for years to come. I think this is just fantastic.
I mean, shit, how long has he been here?
He's been here since 1999 or 2000. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right there.
Coach Jordan
2000.
Burroughs,
2000 was the first
James
year.
Green, a ton of amazing wrestlers that have come through this program under Mark Manning.
Silver-haired fox. That's what he is. He's a silver-haired fox. He's a good-looking old man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the guy's not bad looking. And I listened to him talk on a different show after all this was said and done, and he started talking a little bit about like this is putting Nebraska wrestling on notice. Like 1890, hello, let's open up our checkbooks, start throwing money that way towards the wrestlers because you've got local guys like Antrell Taylor that you want to keep them, and they've got 2 years left of eligibility. Open your checkbooks, support the program.
This is one thing, and I love that you just said it puts Nebraska wrestling on notice. If you guys follow wrestling, Nebraska wrestling has almost always been elite. I mean, they are consistently. I mean, it's all of the Big Ten is elite wrestling. There's not a conference outside of the Big Ten that really matters.
Yeah.
But Nebraska wrestling's always been sick. I mean, at least as long as I've been alive.
They've always been sick, but yes, we need. Now that they've gone out there and they've shown success and they gave Nebraska a good name, right? They're on television, good showing for Nebraska sports. Thank God. And so, yeah, you have Mark Manning going out there kind of hinting, hey, more money. It's just tough because fucking Penn State, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what do you do?
He talked about it too. He's like, okay, how do you catch the big dog that is Penn State?
Yeah.
And he explained it like this. So in wrestling, you've got their NFL essentially, if you want to use football analogies, is the Olympics, right? So you're Olympic wrestlers, and for the longest time, the University of Nebraska was paying James Green and Jordan Burroughs to stick around and be ambassadors for the University of Nebraska, paying them to stay here, paying them to run camps, all those things, right? Penn State has 6 of the 10 best wrestlers in the world right now running their program.
Yeah.
So how do you compete with that? I don't know. I really don't know.
And
well, this is certainly a great start, I suppose. Like we say, it's a great start, but like you said, Connor, they've always been pretty damn good. But now it's just been elevated, their best finish ever. And so you kind of hope this is the catapult. Like with Penn State, you have those legends that just stay there and they're ambassadors.
Yeah.
And so if you're a a wrestling recruit, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go there. This dude's going to train me. The best of the best is going to train me. And so having Jordan Burroughs in our back pocket, if you will, very nice. I'm looking at Mike being a nice little.
Mike's a great steward of the brand.
Beer boy.
The Nebraska Brewing Company brand. Mike's the best steward here.
No, but like you said, Mike, they have that advantage that other schools, dude, they just don't have. Because Penn State is invested in that program astronomically more than the next team. Like, who's second? Probably Iowa?
Iowa.
I think this is, well, some Nebraska fans, and if you're out there, you would shock me to have this be your opinion right now, is we should have beat Penn State. Because frankly, this year, no, we shouldn't have.
No.
We shouldn't have. But historically, you're looking at this year getting second at the national tournament. You beat two programs that are always just annoying. One of those being Iowa, pest, and the other being Oklahoma State. Two very historic programs, also both fantastic. And you beat them both this year. So this is a win. I see no negatives here. And now I think it is. I'm not saying it's fair to say like next year we come out and beat Penn State. I don't think that's like a fair goal.
No.
But you now have you know you can do it, and you know you can get close. And so that always is the goal. Is like we want to come out and beat Penn State. How you're going to do it? Frankly, I don't know. Again, Mike mentioned 6 of the best wrestlers in the world right now are helping run that program. But now you know you're a close number 2.
Here's what I want. Okay, I'm not going to demand that they go out there and beat the juggernaut that is Penn State. For one, it's not fair. Penn State's done it for, shit, dude.
They've won 7 out of the 8 last year, or 7 out of 8 in the last 8 years. Yeah,
insanity, right? And Nebraska is never going to be invested that much in our wrestling program. I'm being realistic here. Like, despite this awesome finish, we're never going to be as invested in wrestling as Penn State is. Okay, but here's what I do want is, can we overtake Iowa? Let's do that.
I think we've done that.
You know why?
We've done that.
Well, let's do it again. Let's do it again
on.
and do it again and again and again. Because why? Because fuck Iowa.
Fuck Iowa. So, Mike, you say we've done that. We've overtaken Iowa. And if we're talking historically,
absolutely not.
No. We did that this year.
Yeah.
We did do that this year, and I think that was great. I also do believe for Iowa wrestling, this was a pretty big down year, which is fine with me. I don't care. I don't care how wins come. I care how losses come. And we didn't have to take one this year for Iowa. I think, well, I'm talking in the national tournament. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not specific, like individually for wrestlers. We did get that. And I think maintaining a top 3 presence is most important for Nebraska right now. Because like you said, that is how you're going to get increased investment in this program.
Yes.
You're going to get more fans. You're going to get people that care. Prior to this year, how many matches did you guys watch other than like Nash Hutmacher wrestling last year?
I would usually watch like the big ones, like the Penn State, the Iowas of the world.
Same.
I agree with you though. I think the investment has to be now. I think they are set up perfectly with Troy Danon as their AD because he gives a shit about wrestling.
Yeah.
He was there Friday. He left for women's basketball and then came back to watch the finals. Like, the guy is invested. And you want to hear something kind of weird? So I want to compare Mark Manning to another men's coach that we just had, and John Cook. So they both came to the University of Nebraska in the year 2000. Okay. And if you think about John Cook and his resume and tenure, it's just consistent, always winning. Obviously he's the GOAT, as far as wrestling or as far as volleyball goes at Nebraska. But it's crazy that later in their careers, they hit this high
apex,
the apex, right?
Yeah.
And John Cook obviously retired 2024. Mark Manning, I think he's live and ready to roll. So this will be kind of interesting to see, like, how far can this apex go for Nebraska wrestling? Can they sell out like a PBA, do a big wrestling event? I think they could.
Yeah, if they wrestle Iowa, they will. Especially if you market it. I mean, similar to Volleyball Day. If you do something, yeah, dude. Oh, for sure.
What I think, if you want to sell out like a PBA event for Husker wrestling, I think this year is the only way you were going to be able to, like I'm saying in the future, like for 2025 into 2026 is the only way you could have done it, because we need the fans to be engaged. This team has now given the fans something to be excited about.
That's right.
Not that it wasn't there before, but my Lord, if you wanted flash, you got it this year.
Exactly.
And it's going to keep building as it has since 99. It's going to keep building. Sorry, 2000. Yeah. It is going to keep building. And so I think the university buy-in is obviously very important, but the fan buy-in is almost more.
It has to be.
That's why this moment, like, listen to us. We are talking about it.
We're talking about
it. And look, I'm not saying that we're the fucking end all be all. Like, if you're the only way that you're relevant is if we talk about you and BNR, right?
No.
But listen, wrestling, we come at it. We're looking at the camera every week, and we admit we are not the biggest wrestling fans. Connor more than us.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just saying, as a pod, we focus on football for the most part. Now, important flashpoint right now. You are just on television. Couple natties. Mark Manning wins tournament coach of the year. Like, this is the moment where you have to capitalize on like regular fans that normally do not care about wrestling. Like, this is it. Like with baseball, there's a lot of just like casual fans that tune in.
Right.
You have to give us something that is tangible. This was a tangible thing, and now you can use this as, look what we did. Hey.
Well, not to mention I was at the bar this weekend, like sports bar, watching March Madness, all that stuff. All over the TVs was the national wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, that's how big this is. It's a big deal in Nebraska. When Nebraska is relevant in anything, you're going to have 100% fan support. Women's basketball, wrestling, does not matter.
Yeah.
Like, if you are winning, the Husker fans will watch, and they do give a shit.
Well, Connor, before you go, I'm giving you credit here because you said Nebraska wrestling has always been solid. Okay. Yeah. They've always been consistent, but this is the first time that I can recall. Like, I look back on a wrestling season, I'm like, boom, like, there we are. Consistent success in the past, yes. But has there ever been a moment where you're like, there it is. We made it. Like, this is as close to that we've come.
If you're talking as like a full program, no. I mean, this is the pinnacle of what the
that's
team
what I mean.
As a whole has done. I mean, but again, I go back to watching Jordan Burroughs wrestle for Nebraska, or James Green, a lot of these amazing wrestlers. But as a team, no. And I think, we talk about what, at least in my opinion, the fan buy-in is more important right now than the NIL buy-in for this program. Because a lot of really great wrestlers know that Nebraska is going to be a top 10 team. Like, almost always.
Yes.
Is going to be top 10.
We finished 9th last year.
Yeah.
And Mark Manning talked about it today. He said, well, I had a coaching mistake that probably would have got us runner-up last year. So this is even sweeter this year.
Exactly. So I think if you want to convert these masses, the first Husker football game, you trot that whole team out there, you hang up or you hold up that runner-up trophy, you honor Ontrell Taylor and Ridge Lovett, and you show them that, hey, while you guys all 85, 88,000, 90,000, whatever it's going to be, while you're here, there's success elsewhere, and you're not coming to see this, and you should be. And I think, again, the fan buy-in is much more important, because once you get the fan buy-in, the money will follow.
Yep.
The money does not bring fans, but fans bring money.
Hey, you 90,000, you come out for this fucking pinstripe bowl team. Look at us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You cheer on
what?
Literally the team that didn't make a bowl game for 8 years in a row. You packed the stadium, which I'm one of those dummies, so it's fine.
We're all dummies.
We are all dummies. Yes, we have to shift fan support to the programs that are consistently winning men's sports, and that is wrestling, because it's not baseball this year. I mean, we all showed out for baseball last year. It's one of those things. If you win, they will come.
Hey, you want to beat Penn State? Come do a duel. Come support this team.
Right.
Come do a duel.
And that's the thing. This is the time to do it. You're gonna be probably number 2 in the preseason wrestling rankings behind Penn State. And so there you go. Like, that's who we're trying to reach. That's who we're trying to fucking overtake is Penn State. That's our goal. I'm sorry, you could not say that before. You couldn't point after a season and go, you know what? We have a legit chance. A legit chance. Is it likely? No. But like you said, come to a duel, push us over the edge. Let's go.
I mean, this Penn State program is like mid 2010s Alabama football.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to beat them is, even if you're, in second, it's hard. It's incredibly hard. But you know how like what's not going to help? People not coming, people not showing up and supporting this team. Like, do it. And I'll tell you, you know what the average like ticket price is for these Nebraska duels?
It's like $8.
It's like $15.
Is it 15?
Just go. It's so cheap, and they are electric.
Yes.
I cannot explain to you guys how electric these duels are.
And you can't go now because it's over.
Yeah.
But this is going to prepare you. You have time now to set your schedules, look at the wrestling schedule for next year when it comes out, and just go to a couple duels. Like, I want to go to one. I want to do it. If they do the PBA thing, 100% we're going. We're going to go do something. Maybe we'll get a wrestler on before. Like, I think we'll really embrace it.
We'll get Mark Manning on.
I mean, that's the plan. Like, we gotta go call the Silver Fox. But we'll see. We'll see.
A lot of our wrestling buddies are.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of friends who are diehard wrestling buddies. So
yeah, how many people we got in the chat right now?
151.
So out of you 151 people out there watching us, I'm sure you know somebody in your life that on Saturday nights they have a nice little garage get together, right? You get and maybe you have a weight set in there where you bench press and you drink a couple brewskis.
You're just talking about
I don't know where we're going.
I do. He's going with Tobias.
You drink a couple brewskis, you get some reps in on the bench, and your buddies wrestle each other.
Tobias and Ray.
Maybe you're into that thing. You know people like this. They are unnecessarily aggressive when you don't have to be. You have a beer.
Okay.
You don't just start wrestling people and beating people up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. That's
I'm
very.
lost.
Hey,
Yeah.
I remember really directed towards one of our friends. Anyways,
I remember my first beer too, guys. I didn't start wrestling people. Okay.
Okay.
One last thing on
Okay.
wrestling.
Put a bow on it. Let's go on to football.
One last thing on wrestling. Gable Stevenson lost.
That's funny.
It was an incredible match. I don't know if you guys watched that. Yeah. No, it's not even a womp, man. The guy had a great career. It was a great match. But
a 401k.
It was I think as a wrestling fan, it was really cool to see Gable Stevenson lose. That sounds really shitty. But a real like comeback story. It was very cool.
The ultimate upset of wrestling. And then the guy's in the Air Force, literally put through on the American flag and then gave Trump a hug. I mean, like all those things, like if you're like American guy, like that's it.
I was surprised to see a president at a wrestling championship. That was interesting to me. But I went through a list, and in fact, it wasn't a list I created, but about the greatest wrestling upsets of all time. And they had this Gable Stevenson upset as number one. And as I went through, I watched the top 8 on the list. I watched the entire matches, and no, they're right. This was the biggest upset in collegiate wrestling, I think, that I've ever seen.
Damn it. We're talking about wrestling because now Nebraska was good. Very good.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be
biased, I think.
Yeah. I don't mean to be rude, but like Gable Stevenson, I've never watched a match, and you lost me. You guys lost me.
I
recognize
literally an Olympian. He's literally like an Olympian.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: if it's not Nebraska,
you don't care.
There it
he wrestles. He was a Minnesota guy.
Yeah. He's a goofer.
Yeah. He's a goofer. Yeah. And guess what? He looked like a goofer when he lost. Okay, guys.
What?
Guess what? Spring practice started today.
Well, I was gonna say, that Nebraska ball season is still going on.
It is still going on,
and Creighton's isn't.
That's still kind of funny.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
No. Shut up, Connor.
Honestly,
shut up. I already know what you're gonna say.
I don't know what the buttons, which ones do what. I'm just really just guessing, and so far I'm 2 for 2. I just want to let you know that,
Connor. Maybe Creighton can come play in the Crown with Nebraska. If it'll make them feel better, will it make them feel better?
I'm gonna go 2 routes here. One you guys are gonna love. The other you're gonna hate.
I hear. Yeah, go. Hurry up, fucker.
1, suck my dick, Creighton.
Yeah.
How does the couch feel?
I like that one.
I honestly did not have them beating Louisville. I thought,
had them losing in the first round.
Yeah,
Hater.
I thought Louisville was, too low seated. I thought they should have been like a 4 or 5. They proved that they shouldn't have been. Creighton did beat them.
They did.
Here's the other thing. They did get a win in the tournament.
Yeah.
Which is something that
Nebraska still hasn't done.
Shut up, Connor!
I know. I'm not happy about saying this.
You know what's funny though? It's just we had one of our buddies. He's like, "Hey." So I said the fun thing. There's only one Nebraska basketball team still playing basketball in 2025, right? Or I guess right now this season. And then he said, "Well, will you hang a banner if you win the crown?"
Yes.
I said, "Absolutely. We'll probably hang a banner because we made the crown." Come on.
I have a real question here. And this is one that you might say duh to. But would you rather have got a March Madness win this year or be the inaugural crown winner? Be the first ever crown winner.
Well, no,
or one March Madness win.
We're hanging the crown banner, but fuck the crown.
Yeah, nobody cares about the crown.
I'm saying if you win the crown,
don't care.
Like,
I don't want to win the crown. I want to win the
inaugural. I mean, you're in the history books forever.
I didn't stutter. Fuck the crown.
No, I'm
even if Nebraska wins.
I told you before the episode started that I said I wasn't gonna watch. I'll probably watch, but with very disinterested.
Well, yeah, background noise, right?
Yeah,
right.
Like, oh yeah,
Shit.
We beat Arizona State. Hopefully, but I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm trying to get any wins out of the season that I can. So maybe like inaugural crown winner. I think that'd be cool. Mike said he'll get a tattoo if we do it.
I did not say that.
He hinted at it.
Hey, look, okay, so we hate the crown, but since you're in it, you might as well try to win it, I guess.
Just freaking win it.
And if you do, meh. And if you don't, meh.
Oh, well.
Either way, meh. The banner will just say, meh.
Did you guys, did you fill out your crown brackets?
No, I don't know if is there a crown bracket?
There has to be.
There's got to be somebody that's doing it.
Of course. All you guys are gambling degens. Of course they've made brackets.
There's got to be. There's got to be.
They make brackets for everything.
I will say, as far as the crown goes, I'm excited that I get to watch Bryce Williams play basketball at least one more time in a Husker uniform. So Bryce Williams, Juwan Gary.
Yeah,
I don't like the way that Bryce went out on senior.
It's hard to swallow the way that they went out.
Yeah.
Versus our. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be cool if you went off for 30 or whatever.
I want to see them make a run. I do.
Yeah,
that's fine. Hey, play against crap competition. Go make a run. I don't care. We are the worst Power 5 basketball program of all time. Will we hang a banner if we win the crown? Absolutely. Okay. All right.
Yes.
And in other Nebraska ball news, as we put a bow on this topic, rank mask is officially coming back. You know,
I like.
You know what I would love? I'd always get in like a medical red shirt this year, but like we're in the postseason, and in football, in the postseason, red shirts can play. In bowl season, they can play. Like, why in basketball can they not play? Because this would be a great opportunity to turn the page, kind of like what Nebraska football did in the bowl game, where it's like, hey, let's look at the future. Let's look at next year. Get rank out there again. One more time with Bryce and Juwan, and just watch how good that offense is going to look. Because it's going to. It's going to look good.
Short answer, different sport.
But it's really not anything different, like as far as eligibility goes.
You're asking a question, Mike, that I'm afraid just doesn't have. I mean, yeah, there's technically an answer, but
not a good one.
Doesn't make sense.
Stupid.
Man, it's the NCAA, man. Who knows?
I won't fight you on that.
You know, you ask a representative from the NCAA, they're,
well, you know, when you take into account
I don't like
bullshit.
That.
It is what it is.
Like that. But yeah, having rank back is nice. Spread the floor, hit a few threes, be our best point guard. Is a camera on me when I said that?
Yep.
Be our best point guard. They're going to get one. They're going to get one. It's going to be okay.
I think With the way that Nebraska ball ended this year, I think Fred has made his case, not to mention he's losing an assistant. So I think Fred is going to do they're going to do two things this year. I think they're going to go get some good assistants that can recruit, and they're going to maybe get a general manager. I guess three things. They're going to probably get a general manager of some sort to handle all the NIL, getting guys, all that stuff. And they're going to get some dudes. I think they're going to drop some money. I think the rev share is going to kick in. They're going to get about $6 million. They're going to be able to pay the guys they need to pay. And I think Nebraska ball will do okay in the offseason.
So my question for you guys is, nearing the end of the season, I can't count how many times we got asked, is Fred Hoiberg on the hot seat? I believe we all agreed no. But going into this season, let's say things work out. He does get his GM. He does get his guys. Is it a season where if all of this pans out, he gets that $6 million, where it's like, hey, brother, we're getting you the resources. Right. You've been here long enough. We probably need you to at least be fairly decent in the Big Ten and probably get to March. Are we to that point this year if those resources come in? I
don't think that's outlandish. I think that's the goal. Like, you have to make the tournament. I'm not even saying that he has to win a game.
Right. Just make it.
You just have to make the tournament. You definitely can't miss the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, that's right.
What are we doing? Yeah. The fact that you lose 5 straight and end the season like that. No, Fred Hoiberg, his seat is warm, but he has the same expectations. If he wins a tournament game, he's the best coach in Nebraska ball history. So he has the lowest bar, but also just not lofty expectations either.
Hear me out. Is a high seed and decent run in the NIT this next season good enough to keep it for another year? Or I'm
not thinking that far ahead. It has, but it goes back to kind of the eye test. Like, how does it look? Like, did you end the season 5 in a row? Did you have injuries? Like, there's going to be some things that go into it. Like, I don't want to say that right away. I think Fred Hoiberg is the perfect coach for this university. I think he gives a shit. Like, he's willing to adapt. He's willing to make changes. So I don't want to say, oh, well, if he just makes the NIT, it probably is over if he makes the NIT next year. Like, but I don't want to say that because something could happen. Like, you got to get a sweet transfer, and next thing you know, he tears his ACL midway through the season, and you lose a lot. Like, that could happen. It really could.
That's fair.
It's wild to hear. Like, I read that Adam Howard gets hired by Will Wade at NC State, right? He gets poached from Hoiberg's staff. And it's just like, I read that and I'm just like, why him? Out of all the coaches in America, like, why is it Adam Howard that gets poached from Nebraska's staff? Like, Will Wade's, he's in a nice power chair right now. He has all the leverage. So why is it that Adam Howard from Nebraska basketball staff gets poached? And he's like the offensive guy, right? He's kind of the offensive assistant. And you saw how poorly they played on offense this year.
That's just weird.
Does it just make you think, like, what made Will Wade, like, did they have I don't even think they really had a connection.
I didn't really see it just reading the article, but I agree. It's kind of weird because like, if I were poaching, I'd probably go after Nate Lenzer. Like, that's the dude. Like, that is the guy that has changed the way that Nebraska ball has looked the last 3 years.
I don't know how do I put it in words that I'm just baffled that I see that. And I'm not like mad that he left or sad. I don't care. I'm the definition of indifferent. I literally do not give a shit, but it also makes me think, like, why him?
So my question would be, have contract details been leaked?
No, not yet, at least not to my knowledge.
I didn't read that deep into it.
Yeah, my guess is this is they saw something. Will Wade saw something. And it is again, we don't know the contract.
What do you
My
see?
guess is the valuation is fairly low, and it is a low risk, high reward move. Where if Will Wade saw something, it was like, holy shit.
What do you think he saw?
What did he see?
I don't know.
Bryce. Hey, there's a reason that I'm not coaching D1 basketball.
I know.
I cannot speak to what might have been seen. This is pure speculation.
I don't get it.
Is that this might be just a very low risk, high reward situation for them. That's my only thought.
Again, Will Wade is like a Louisiana guy, right?
He's good
down
coach.
south.
Why wouldn't he bring all of his assistants? Like, I don't get it.
It's just why Nebraska?
I don't get it.
A team that's never won a tournament game, famously.
And the offense was bad. Like, if you watch Nebraska basketball this year, the offense was the issue.
And look, I'm not saying Adam Howard's a terrible coach or whatever. I'm just saying, what? Okay, I guess.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, we'll go get somebody else.
Hey, Hoiberg. Get somebody better.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Go with the Matt Rule approach. Yeah. And speaking of the Matt Rule approach, spring football started today. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about spring football, please.
I'll just say, like, I don't want to say I'm disinterested, but I do get a general vibe, and let me know if I'm wrong, that there's just overall, like, just less interest. That's the vibe I'm getting, and I don't know if it's because, like, we don't know a lot of these new players. Like, they made a bowl last year, and so maybe a lot of fans are just kind of like, okay, content. And so they're not hot or cold. They're just in the middle, right?
They're waiting.
They're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're waiting. There's not a lot of hype. Like, there's no videos being released yet. Like, I just feel this feels very ho-hum to me. Let me know if I'm wrong.
I mean, I'll go into it. I'm the opposite. Like, I feel like all the things, and I'm not like the Kool-Aid drinker or anything like that, but let me put it this way. Like, it's year 3, Matt Rule. It's shut up. This is it. Like, all the cards are on the table right now. Matt Rule.
He's even said that.
He said it. He puts himself out there.
Year.
I wouldn't say hot seat year. I'm just saying this is year 3 of Matt Rule. This is year 2 of Dylan Raiola. There are so many things to look forward to. You brought in a bunch of transfers. Mm-hmm. You've got your OC. You've got a better wide receivers coach. You've got some transfer O-linemen. Like, this is the year. I'm excited. Like, I want to hear about this stuff. I want it, and without the spring game this year, it intrigues me more. Like, it makes me want more because I'm not going to be able to go in Memorial Stadium and watch them actually play a scrimmage type thing. Like, I want to know literally everything because with the 105, that's interesting to me. Like, who's going to be on the team in the fall? Who's getting cut? We still have 30 plus guys that need to go.
True.
Right? Like, all these storylines, they intrigue me a lot. So I'm the opposite. Like, I'm all in on the spring thing. I wish they were doing the spring league thing so we could at least get a taste of something. I know it's all, it's spring, it's practice. I get that. But, like, this is a big year and I want every second of it. Like, I want to know what's going on.
It's a big year. It's a big year. Everybody knows it. Matt Rule knows it. And I think maybe that just plays a part in why people are just being like, maybe I needed Mike to say all that to get me a little light a fire under my ass too. Maybe I needed that.
I've been trying to get football, the topic of football, since we started the show.
Yeah.
And we went on wrestling for 3 hours and we went on baseball for way too long.
Whoa.
I was ready for fucking football,
Show
baby.
some respect.
I got it. Hey, wrestling, shout out to wrestling. Baseball, we didn't need to talk about it that long. For baseball, they're bad right now. Football, I'm excited.
Fair.
So I have 2 points here. One is, it's spring. What do people do in spring? It's spring cleaning, right? You shed your waste. The waste that I want to see dropped the most is probably about 25 to 30 pounds off of Dylan Raiola's frame.
You're going to go there.
Here we go. I mean, let's be honest. People that are saying he's 240, shut up.
He's not
240.
He is. Yeah, he is.
No,
yes, he is.
He's 230. We argued about this on Sunday, or Saturday.
Yes,
we argued about this.
He's not 240.
He's every bit of 230.
Dude, he is literally, his dad is literally a legendary offensive lineman. It is built in his bones to be big boned.
Yeah, but big boned is not real.
But I'm also not going to make the excuse that he should not lose weight because he needs to lose weight.
I need 25 to 30 off that frame.
He like right now, like even coming into Nebraska, he has access to the best trainers, the best facilities, the best dietitians, everything. There's zero excuses.
I'm confident that come time for our first game that he will be at a correct weight. And he will be ready to go.
What's the correct weight in your opinion?
For him, 205, 210.
That's a lot of weight.
It's not going to happen.
I think 205, 210 for him is going to be pretty good.
I was thinking more like 215, 220.
220.
220, I think is fine for his frame. He's like 6'5". Like, I mean, he's a good size quarterback.
Not quite 6'5".
He's 6'4", 6'5", somewhere in there.
But the other thing, so outside of the spring cleaning, as it were, did you guys see Rocco Spindler's comment about the O-line?
6'3", by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not quite 6'5". Rocco's comment about how this Nebraska O-line is better than Notre Dame's last year.
He said just talent in general, I think.
That's bullshit, right? That's bullshit.
Connor,
I mean, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna say?
Connor?
No, I understand.
Connor.
I understand that he's doing this to hype them up and it's being put out to the public to hype us up. But that's bullshit. And if you believe it, you're dumb.
Yeah, 100%. It's absolutely bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you're not tricking us, Rocco.
Rocco.
Hey, Rocco, maybe you try to trick those guys in the locker room, but you ain't tricking no guys in here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm very happy Rocco's here. I think he's going to be a great addition, great leader on that O-line.
Of course.
I love that. But don't spit in my face and tell me it's raining.
Don't piss in my face.
Yeah.
No, dude, yeah, it's trying to hype your guys up.
Yeah, no, I
That's
get
all
that. And I think, I hope that we're going to see some improvement on that O-line this year. I mean, we saw improvement year over year. I don't think that we're seeing an improvement that could reasonably be justified as like, yeah, we're better than the team that made the national championship game last year. And Notre Dame historically has been a university that has prided themselves on O-linemen.
Sure.
I think I am one of the only sickos that owns an NFL O-lineman jersey. The first NFL jersey I ever bought was a Quentin Nelson jersey.
Sick.
Guess where he played? Notre Dame.
The old Golden Domers.
Yeah. So the fact that, you know, we're talking about like, oh, we're better than Notre Dame. No, that's just wrong.
No. Dylan Raiola's 240.
He's not. He's not 240.
See how long you guys would dispute that.
He's not.
He's 239.
No, he's every bit of 230, and I'll give you that.
I love me some Matt Rule most of the time, but we can sit here and admit that sometimes he says things that he comes to regret later, and that's going to be one of them. The 240 comment? Yeah. 100%. Listen, you got DR out there. What sucks for him is he could work as hard as he possibly can. Best nutrition of all time. It's in his DNA. There's only so much he can do, and he's always going to be a blubbery kid. He's going to have that baby fat on him all the time, and it's going to suck because the first sign of struggle. What are the comments going to say? 240, 240, 240, 240. Even if he is 205, even if he's 140, people are going to say 240, 240. I don't know. I think when you look at athletes at this level, and especially a guy like DR, I mean, we saw with Nash, like how much weight did Nash cut coming off the line and going a shit
to
ton.
Wrestle?
A lot. I mean, he went from like 310 to 285. So these guys can transform their bodies like no other. They, like I said, they have access, especially at Nebraska. They have access to the best dietitians, the best everything, the best facilities. Yeah. They can transform their bodies to look like however they want it to look like. I fully expect Dylan to look different next year. I have zero doubt that when we need Dylan to look like Dylan, he's going to look like it. And I'm talking physically. I'm not talking about gameplay. I mean, obviously, everyone wanted to dog Dylan. You know, he started the season fairly well. You know, some lower end opponents, and you know, had some hurdles here and there. Sure. But I think in a second year, he's now accustomed to playing in front of large crowds. So I think we can see that too. But physically speaking, I don't expect to see Dylan anything out of shape or larger than he should be when the season starts. No. The people that, especially some people in our friend group, Jared, 240, that are constantly bashing Dylan's weight and the way that he played. Okay, I understand NIL. I understand people are getting paid now, right? No matter how much money he makes, it did not change the fact that he was a true freshman last year. He set almost every school record as a freshman quarterback. True. He played his ass off. He finally got us to a fucking bowl game, guys. Like, he had a good season, and I know he missed throws. And guess what? It's going to happen. He's a true freshman quarterback. Now, I expect year 2 Dylan to be the big step that we're hoping for. That we're really banking this year on that next step. And I think pairing him with Dana Holgorsen and some good receivers and a competent O-line, I think that can happen. And I'm excited. That's why I'm so excited about spring football, because it's a taste. It's a taste of what could happen in the fall. And then I have to turn the page to the UFL or something to get me that football fix. But right now, I'm excited to hear everything and anything about spring football. I'm going to listen when Matt Rule talks. I'm going to listen when the players talk, because especially the transfers. Like, I know you're talking about Rocco and what he says about Notre Dame, and I don't believe him that the talent around him looks better than Notre Dame. What I do believe is that the talent must be comparable. Otherwise, he wouldn't even open his mouth.
I don't buy that either.
It's never been a talent issue, Connor. I have always said this. It's talent and development. It's retention and development. We have retained a lot of good talent here at Nebraska. We kept all of our young guys, and now it's time to develop the guys that stuck around, and we're going to see what happens.
No, I am not saying that there is not talent on the Nebraska O-line.
No, I'm not saying that.
But when you say that it's comparable to a Notre Dame O-line, we're looking at a university that is historically famous for phenomenal O-lines.
But he wasn't talking just O-line, though. He was talking about the team in general.
No, he was talking about the O-line in his statement.
I think his statement was about the talent around, like the talent at Nebraska.
No, his talent was about the O-line specifically. At least the one that I read.
Well, it's one quote, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about the talent of the team.
If we're talking whole team, we've said this for years, that we believe that talent's never been the issue.
Right.
I mean, it's just been, getting the phases operating together, which, seemingly we're just very lucky in the fact that there's always at least one firing, but the other two are kind of fucked. I don't think talent's ever been the issue. But if we're talking O-line and you're trying to compare it to like a Notre Dame or even, God forbid, a Wisconsin, that we're not quite to that level. I think there is talent there, and I think it can get to that level. I think the guys that are on that line have the potential to be. And if that's what Rocco was saying, I might agree with him. But I don't think it's been refined to that point.
I think this O-line, the O-line played their asses off last year. I think they were pretty freaking good.
Considering what they went through, yeah.
Especially with a true freshman quarterback and no good running game. Like, the running game was a revolving door. Running backs didn't really figure it out until Dana kind of got his fingers in there. Like, I think the O-line was consistent, and all those guys are back. Like, you're only missing Ben Scott and who else is there? Ben Hart. Yeah. I think they're fine. Like, and guess what? Just for fun, the first thing that I pulled up our Twitter. The first tweet I see is a picture of Dylan Raiola, and it says, "The kid looks slim."
240.
Of course, yeah.
It's literally a picture of Dylan. I can show you. I'm not going to turn my screen.
I guarantee you they've got him in weight cutting mode right now.
He has been in weight cutting mode since the end of the Pinstripe Bowl.
Because Matt Rule's saying, you better lose that fucking weight or else I'm going to replace you with Marcus Davila, whatever his name is.
Marco.
I think the linchpin, Mike, it wasn't like your main point, but you touched on it. I think the linchpin for the O-line and just like how this offense runs as like an entire unit is going to be Holgorsen.
Yes, it's going play to be calling. Holgorsen, yeah. It's play calling, playing to your strengths. I think with having Emmett being running back one, they're going to utilize him differently than Satterfield did. Like, they're going to get the ball in his hands in creative ways. I think bringing in all those transfer receivers, I think, are going to help. I mean, even the freshman class we have coming in, they're going to be good. Like, I think the wide receivers coach is going to be good. I'm sorry. I just think that this offense has a lot of potential.
I just want to go back to something you said, Connor, a few minutes ago.
I don't like this.
Oh, boy. He's stretching for it.
You're talking about the O-line.
Yeah.
You named a few teams there. Notre Dame, obviously.
Yep.
And Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Nebraska's O-line right now is better than Wisconsin's.
I was referring to Wisconsin over the last.
Traditionally.
Yeah.
But fuck Wisconsin.
Agreed.
Because I heard you say that, and I'm like, it made me. You know why? Because now that Nebraska's beat them, their reign over us is over. It's over.
Only took 9
fuck
years.
Wisconsin. I know it took a while. Okay. I mean, we're at over an hour.
Yeah, we are. We are. I do want to. There is one comment in the chat that I thought was kind of interesting.
Super.
I thought No, it's not a super chat, but I thought it was interesting. Dark Husker.
Oh, okay.
Did say which of the O-line will make a Big Ten all conference first team. Which ones win it last postseason? 4 injured. Come on, guys. Ben Scott, I think, was honorably mentioned. Ben Scott was a really good offensive lineman at Nebraska.
Yeah.
But Bryce Benhart didn't play as well as he did the year prior.
Right.
But once again, I think the entire offensive line was serviceable. I think Jenkins will be really good. I think you bring in Rocco in there. You got the transfer from Alabama. Like, I just think there's going to be, Gunner has got a lot of snaps. So
I'll answer Dark Husker's question. And I'm going to say that Nebraska's offensive line will not have one single all Big Ten performer on there.
But do you need to be an all Big Ten lineman to have a good, competent offense?
No,
because I don't think that's the answer.
The question was specifically who's going to win all conference,
right? And I say I don't think anybody will.
I hate to parrot Jared, but I'm like,
no,
I don't think there will be one.
I don't think there will be. It's a huge conference.
Yeah,
fucking million teams.
There's 18 teams in here.
There's a million teams.
Okay. Fuck. Now it's going to be another 10 minutes. You have to get to a point where you have all conference performers.
I agree with that,
especially on the line.
Yes.
We can't use this. We can't use the excuse that there's a shit ton of teams now. You gotta start putting dudes at these positions.
Do you
quit the excuses?
Do you think that honorable mention is considered all Big Ten, like an all Big Ten caliber?
No.
You said all Big
Listen,
Ten caliber.
No, I do not.
Listen,
honorable mention does not count to me.
A lot of teams, a lot of O linemen. If you're making honorable mention, it's not good enough. Still not good enough.
But you realize if you use like PFF, like Ben Scott had one of the best blocking grades in the conference. I'm just saying.
PFF is...
Yeah, but you have to win football games. So like it's tough when you have 18 teams and Nebraska was middle of the pack, 6-6, 7-6 to finish the season. Like those guys aren't going to get the recognition because they're not winning football games.
Indeed.
So it's tough.
It's kind of a chicken and egg kind of thing.
100%.
So I know we spend a decent amount of NIL money on getting skill players. And that's a good thing to do. You want to get better O linemen? You want guys that are all Big Ten? Go buy some pipeline jerky. That's a free plug. Support the fucking O line. More money needs to flow to this O line. That's how you're going to win games. It is the most important unit on the field.
Yep.
Donate. Get some money to that O line.
Here's what I'm afraid of. Year 3, Matt Rule has said, we pop year 3. Which I don't like him saying that, by the way. I don't like him doing that. But he has said it. And if you're going to win 9 or 10 games, yeah, I'm going there.
Don't use double digits. Don't do that.
I know.
9 already scared me, big dog.
Me.
I was excited for 7. So
shit. Well, I'm just saying, people, when they hear Matt Rule say year 3, they think 9 or 10. They do. And I think that's fair to think that. If you're going to win 9 or 10, you have to have an all-conference performer on the O-line.
At
least second team. At least. Because if you're not making first or second team, if you're having one guy make honorable mention, which, okay, if I made that, that'd be cool. Me. You're going to win 6 games. Again. And then not saying fire, but Jesus Christ is going to come up.
Do we want to see Dylan scramble like he had to last season? I sure as fuck don't.
Especially since he's 240.
He's not 240.
He's not 240. He's not 240. I'm just saying it's so hard to be all Big Ten with the amount of teams we have. Ty Robinson, who is climbing up draft boards and had a great season last year, finished third all-time Big Ten or whatever. I'm just saying,
I hear you.
It is tough to become all conference in an 18-team league. Especially when you have guys, the reigning national champion in here. You got last year's champion in here. The Big Ten is the best conference in college football. So I don't think you have to have all Big Ten tied to your name to have a good season.
I appreciate you saying what I have been yelling for the last year is that, and I thought it was funny that the SEC used to be the best football conference.
They're not anymore. Or basketball.
And hold on. The Big Ten used to be the most physical basketball conference. It has flipped. The SEC is more physical in basketball now.
They
We
didn't
saw
deserve
that.
all those teams in the conference or the tournament.
I'm not fighting that either.
Yeah.
14 teams.
Stupid.
Or no, was it 12
Yeah.
of 14 or 14
Yeah.
of 16, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
But the Big Ten has overtaken in football. The Big Ten football talent is better than the SEC now. So it is hard. But we need, I don't care about getting, all Big Ten receivers. We need the O-line. That's what we need.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to win games.
Yeah. I mean, what are they supposed to do? They went after every offensive lineman transfer, and they got 2. They got Rocco, who was one. Everybody wanted Rocco Spindler, and everybody wanted the kid from Alabama.
Yeah.
So
I
just
hear you.
saying, like they did what they could.
Go out. Okay.
They did what they could.
They got him.
They got him.
Now show
Rocco,
me.
Figure it out.
Rocco, Elijah.
Yeah. Now show me.
Year 3.
How many times?
I didn't say it. I'm not saying year 3. Matt Rule is.
How many
Year 3.
times do we sit here and talk about we got the big transfers? That's the key.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't fucking work.
Right.
Show me.
We got talent.
Yeah. Show me.
Pritchett, right?
Elijah Pritchett. Yeah.
Pritchett. Yeah. That's his name. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all. There's
Put a
gonna
bow on it.
Yeah, let's put a bow on it. I think there is plenty to talk about, but I disagree with you, Jared, on the are you excited for spring football? I am. I'm excited because the team is coming off their first bowl win, right? Ooh, you got to get excited. You got a young quarterback. You've got your running back. You've got young talent around him. You got those guys that came back. You got a Shavers. Let's hear about it. Let's develop.
How many people in that chat right now?
170.
170 people. If they're still sitting here at this point listening to us, there's 170 people that are excited about spring football.
I agree.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what. Now the basketball's, oh fuck, it's still not over. Now that baseball's over. Oh shit, baseball's still not over. Either.
Technically,
Shit. Football mode.
Yeah,
Wrestling's over.
It is over.
Football
It is.
mode.
Yeah,
Right?
it's football, baby.
Fuck, I still don't want to give up on baseball yet, though.
We won't. And we're still
I
going
have
to
not
follow it.
given
We're
up on
sickos.
baseball.
Quit striking out!
Just wanted to do a reminder.
Get on base!
Oh boy,
Tyler! Love you. But come on.
figure it out.
There it is. Okay, draft top.
Hey, one more plug for our new sponsor, Draft Top. If you're new in the chat, we opened our beers with these. They take the entire top off your can. Let me show you really quick. It's empty, but yes, it takes the entire top off your can. It's a match made in heaven when it comes to drinking beer. So, if you want to support the pod, we put the affiliate link in there. I just tweeted it out as well. Go buy one of these,
Dude, they're cheap.
They're cheap. You support the pod by buying one, and I'd love to see what color you pick. So tag us in it if you buy one.
I'll tell you what, that Cardinal I drank with that draft top just felt right.
Did it feel like
it felt right.
used to?
Yeah.
Dude, there's something about the way that the human brain works where like you can't explain it, but
Yeah.
it's like endorphins and shit.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
An NBC
Powerful.
beer,
Powerful.
no lid.
Yeah.
That is, it's a match made in heaven. It's something that it started at the beginning and it's back, baby. It's back. You don't have to pay for the special tops or whatever. We got it for you. It's right here. Little draft top. I got American flag one. It's pretty freaking cool. One more plug for our other affiliate link as well. If you are betting on March Madness, you can use our promo code NBNR for Underdog Fantasy. You know, if you sign up.
If you're betting on the crown.
Yeah, if you're betting on the crown, I'm sure the crown will be on there.
Dude, there's no way there's not Vegas lines.
fucking
Right,
sickos.
there's gonna be. But make sure you guys use our promo code NBNR. Go to Underdog Fantasy, sign up, use our promo code. You'll get some perks. We'll get some perks. Why not? It's a match made in heaven.
You have to deposit like what? $10?
$10.
Bonuses?
You get $10. You get bonuses. Free money to bet. Why not?
Okay. NBNR podcast, same handle on every social media website.
Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah. We're trying to get to 1,000. We've been saying that for a while.
Mike's getting a face tat.
We've been saying that for a while. Okay. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Connor Cavalack.
And Mike Delaware.
As always, beat Kansas State and beat Arizona State in GBR.